Hi everyone in English 1301, it's Dr. E and I'm here with your week 1 instructional video. So as always, we're just going to start in D2L. Make sure that you always start here. I say this because sometimes we have folks who may utilize the Pulse app or the Pulse Brightspace app. So if you want to download that, you certainly can. But I want you to just be aware that it is limited. It is not fully functional in terms of what you can do and see. So just make sure that you are, for the most part, utilizing your web browser to log into D2L and to complete your work. I'm headed to the content area, and this should be familiar to you after watching that walkthrough video regarding D2L. So just make sure that you're spending some time here and taking a look at things, letting me know if there's anything out of sorts or any, link that's not working or, things of that nature. I've gone through this so many times, but there are just always going to be things I miss. That's why we peer review, right? So you'll see that week 1 has the module here. I do want to let you know up front and be very honest about it. I only offer 1 week at a time in terms of instruction. So if you are a student who you need to kind of see all the assignments and details for the entire semester or be able to work ahead, this just may not be the class for you. I'd hate to lose you, but I understand that some of you may just really need that kind of vision and to be able to kind of work at your own pace. While you can definitely work at your own pace in our course, it is 1 week at a time. And you can look at the course calendar to see what is happening in the upcoming weeks if you wanted to read ahead and even, maybe do an assignment here or there ahead. But it will not, the course calendar does not have the complete semester. It has the first 5 weeks. And that is so I can get a sense of how quickly we're moving through these first couple of weeks and if I need to make some adjustments to the rest of the semester, whether it's slowing things down a little bit or, speeding things up if need be. So just something to keep in mind. All right, so let's go ahead to week 1. This is what those weekly modules are going to look like. I want you to note that there is the option to click on this link to go to the Remind app. Some of you may be familiar with Remind. It's just an app that you can download on your phone. And it's for announcements, it's for reminders. So I do post reminders in D2L, so that's why I really want you to utilize the web version because it will start you here and you can see any announcements that may be useful. Okay, so just make sure you're keeping that in mind. But the Remind app can just add another layer to that, but it's certainly not required. I know some folks who have kids and their kids courses or classes are utilizing the Remind app, so they can't have another class of reminders popping up on their phones. That's okay. All right, this is taken straight from our course schedule. So usually every week it will be Monday where I just list everything that's going on that week. But of course we're off by a single day because of our MLK celebrations, holidays, recognition. So everything is listed here. There's the introduction video for D2L that hopefully you've already watched. There is this weekly video that you are watching. I want you to make sure that you know that there are some, I wouldn't say necessarily many assignments, but usually questions in the weekly quiz that come from the video. So just things to keep in mind. If you are a person to kind of have an instructional video on in the background as you watch TikTok or vice versa, just understand that you may miss some of those questions. I'm usually vocalizing the questions, but sometimes I type something on the screen if I forget to say it and I go back and do some editing for the video. So just be aware. Just know that these things happen. I want you to take some time to review the syllabus. This document, I can't stress enough how important syllabi are for you as a student. They are essentially a contract. They are there for you so that you understand what your rights are in every class, as well as a student with the Lone Star College system. There are so many policies. It can be an overwhelming document to view at first, so just take it step by step. Take it section by section. Don't sit and read the whole thing at once. You don't even want to read a chapter from a college course in one sitting. Take breaks, give yourself and your mind a bit of a breather, and then go back where you're more alert. So make sure you're taking some time with that. There is the prompt that's posted for our first weekly discussion, and that's due on Thursday. You do have a course survey that is open now, but it will not be due officially until next week. I just wanted you to have the option to get a little ahead if that's what you wanted to do. And then we also have a mind map assignment, and we will always have a weekly quiz on Sunday. So just things to keep in mind, our due dates will always be Thursdays and Sundays. All right, so we have a discussion post that's due on Thursday, and over here you'll see the points. So we're starting off small, we're just kind of easing into things as everybody gets used to the course. Then on Sunday you will respond to 2 colleagues for the discussion, and I want you to note that anytime you see those little plus marks, that indicates bonus credit. So it is not required that you complete that. You may have a week here or there where you just don't have the time, and that's okay. It will not count against you. Bonus credit can only help you, but make sure that you're writing something that's worth some bonus credit. There's a mind map assignment due, as well as a participation quiz. Our due times are always excuse me, always going to be 11:59 p.m. So if you need to set up reminders on your phone, or if you're a journaler or bullet journal, or you have planners, make sure that you are offering reminders about that. I typically don't put information for the next week, but I thought in the first week it's good to just get a sense of how our schedule is structured. So you have some reading that's next week, and you can already access those additional readings should you like. All right, so here is how D2L is usually broken up. Every module, there is a section to watch, to review, and to do. So this video will appear in the to watch section after you watch the introductory video for D2L. And this is always where the videos will appear. You'll have a weekly video every week unless there's something going on, and even then I'm going to give you, some instructions and reminders for that week. And then this is also where there may be videos related to some major assignments where I walk through those guidelines and expectations. The review section changes up. Sometimes it'll be a video that you may want to rewatch for an assignment or something of that nature. Oftentimes it's documents or rubrics. So this week it is, this is where you can access the schedule. And remember, that's just the first 5 weeks, so we can see how things go. And a copy of the syllabus. Remember that those items are always going to be available here as well, so that if you need to find them quickly, just click there. But for our weekly module, they are here as well. And a lot of times the review section leads into things related to what we have to actually do that week, right? So the first is our week 1 discussion. If you click on that, some of you are familiar with this if you've taken courses before in D2L. So I've typed up instructions here, just take your time with them. And then I have some questions that I'd like you to answer. I want you to note, I try not to be excessive when it comes to instructions, but I do offer detail. And this is something I say in every single course, and I get the sense that students don't believe me, but I'm going to say it anyway because it is absolutely the truth. About 90% of your success in a course such as this is about following directions. I'm not kidding. If you follow the directions, you are definitely heading in the right direction. If you don't take the time to read through and understand this information and ask questions if you need to, it's obvious. It shows to your professors that you were not investing the kind of attention and time that was, intended, right, for the course. So just make sure you're working slowly and being aware of everything that's required in each assignment. And like I said, reaching out to me directly, or you can post in that Q&A discussion board area to see if your colleagues have some insights and input for you. All right, so you'll answer these questions, and you're free to just number them out if you'd like to. You'll click Start a New Thread. All the instructions on how to do this are up here. Okay, and I've provided an example so that you can kind of see what the expectations are. So I've put my name and my chosen pronouns as the subject line. Please put a name that is your preferred name. Some of you in D2L may not have your preferred name set up, which you can absolutely do if you go and work on your profile. But I want you to include the name here that you'd like other students to utilize. Not necessarily just a fun, jokey nickname, but, you know, how are we referring to one another? So I put, you know, my name is Erin Raft, and in classes I prefer Dr. E, usually because my last name can be a little bit confusing with the silent N. All right, so I answer those questions that I've posed. You don't have to write as much as I do. It's, as an English professor, physically impossible for me to type less. I'm kidding, but kind of not. All right, and I've included a picture. So if you go in and respond to others, you'll just hit reply to thread. You don't need to change the subject line, just do your response, you know, in the text box below. You certainly do not need to respond to my prompt. I'm just here as an example, so don't feel compelled to do that. It's okay. And then you'll make sure that you click post, okay? All right, so that is for Thursday. We're just getting to know one another, learning a little bit about each other. The next thing you'll want to work on completing is the mind map assignment. So if you click on this, it takes you to the assignment area. You can also get there by going to this link. All right, so what you're going to do is complete a mind map that is based on our syllabus. So I, again, am really trying to emphasize the importance of the syllabus and taking some time to work through those ideas. So what I want you to do is to choose 4 main ideas or areas that as a student you yourself believe are important. This is not a trick question. This is me really asking you to identify what's important to you. I'm not looking for specific answers. I'm not judging you based on this. A lot of times students are going straight to the late work section and finding that information, and I get that. So just make sure you're, again, reading these instructions. I've provided a template here that you are free to use because it is very basic. In the future, I will have a video and other templates to offer you for these assignments, but we're just kind of easing into this. So this is a very basic template. And remember, with Microsoft Word, you can make adjustments. So you can expand so that you have more room to type. You can expand these if you need more room. So make sure you're adjusting and not resorting to using 5-point font or something that your professor's eyes have trouble reading because she's an old lady. All right, so once you're done with that, you're going to upload the document, and you'll just find it wherever you've saved it on your computer or in your cloud service. I definitely recommend utilizing a cloud service so you don't lose any important work. You don't have to type anything in the comments, just upload it, make sure the document is there, and then you'll click submit. One good thing about D2L is that when you submit an assignment, it will send you a confirmation email. So just get used to the practice of checking to make sure that you've received that email. The final thing for the week is going to be the quiz. And if you click on that, it just walks you through questions related to information that is related to this week. You can do however many attempts you'd like. It will score the highest one. Just make sure that you submit it, right? Make sure that your grade is visible in the grade book, etc. All right, the last item in the to-do list is a checklist. This is something that I'm trying to do a bit more because I know it can be helpful to have that visual. Remember, check marks don't mean anything. But here in the checklist, this is just something that you can proactively take a look at. So I've tried to put everything that's due or that you need to accomplish this week, and you can check them. This doesn't have anything to do with, you're not graded on this or anything. You don't have to use this at all. But it's something that is there just to kind of safeguard, just to make sure that, you know, you've accomplished everything that you need to in any given week. So I'll try to keep up with those if you believe they will benefit you. All right, so that's it for our first week. This week looks very similar to how some will in the future. So hopefully you see it as pretty straightforward, but if not, Please know that it is not uncommon to be overwhelmed in the first week, especially with online courses. There's so much information. Everybody's courses, every professor uses D2L differently. So just take your time, give yourself a little grace, and move slowly. And of course, reach out to me via email or in that Q&A discussion post area. And if your colleagues post there, help them out. Good luck this week, everyone.